South Africa is a land of opportunity and choice, and we have thousands of students coming out of schools each year, but we have a shortage of learning institutions. And furthermore, we have a shortage of jobs. Now, what South Africa needs are more entrepreneurs. So joining me in studio today is serial entrepreneur and owner of multiple businesses, unique business coach, and the brainchild behind the unique concept to create more young entrepreneurs and less unemployment. I'd like to welcome Andrew Smith to Lotus FM and the Desi Drive.
Awesome, it's great to be here today.
Well, Andrew, you are a serial entrepreneur. Is this something that you're born with?
No, I don't think it's something you're born with. I think that if you've got passion to succeed, you can go out and learn. It's not something you need to have. It's something you can develop over time, and it's something you can learn as and when you grow. You know, if you're passionate, you'll learn. If you want to get ahead, you'll learn. You'll learn something.
Now, what sort of qualifications does one need to become an entrepreneur like yourself?
You don't need a qualification. I mean, I've got a matric and left school early, went out and started businesses. You know, I started businesses and then I failed in business and then I got better in business and then I failed in business. So you don't need to have a qualification, you just need to have ambition.
What are some of the reasons that people fail at business?
You know what, 90% of businesses fail on startup within their first year. That's a statistic that pretty much everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
But what you need to do in terms of business, you need to learn specifically how to build a business. And we're not being taught how to build businesses, we're being taught how to get a job.
Right.
So that's why people go and try and start a business with a job mentality and then they fail. They can't figure out why they're failing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the primary reason. We have the wrong mentality and the wrong mindset.
Now, Andrew, why should people who earn a salary consider becoming an entrepreneur rather than working for someone else?
Wow, that's a good question. You know, I think that people who want to get ahead will automatically gravitate towards going to go and start a business. So if you're in a salaried position, the best is to go and try and start a business on the sideline and then build it up over time. You know, you can't just drop what you're doing and go and suddenly start it. And everybody, 92% of people in South Africa and around the world, they don't really and truly like their jobs because there was no pre-preparation to choose their career properly. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's not a case of replacing the salary to get a business. It's the passion to go and start up a business. But, you know, the advice is to go and learn how to do it first before you give up the salary.
Now, I know you spent the entire day driving your unique concept in schools. From what age should students get involved in entrepreneurship programs and why?
Look, we had great fun today. I mean, we were all over the whole of KZN and we're just looking into the eyes of youngsters and they're all ambitious. 92% of kids, when given the choice, work for a boss or work for themselves, they want to work for themselves. So how young should you be? I started a business when I was 9 years old, you know, and I didn't know I was in business, and then started multiple companies. So I would say that the younger the better, because we start developing fear. As we get older, we develop inherent fears and stuff like that. So it's better to start younger, even if it's just learning how to be in business. I mean, my son's 13 years old and I'm teaching him how to be an entrepreneur already.
Right.
So you're never too young.
Right.
We all have the same brain. Let's face it, you can learn how to be a business person. But I think most people around about age 15, 16 should start entering the mindset of becoming an entrepreneur.
Okay. Your final message to parents and why should they consider a concept like this for their kids or even for themselves?
Look, I always talk about the 5-95 rule. 5% of people will succeed financially. 95% of people by the age of 65 are not going to succeed.
Okay.
So here's the thing, if you're in the 95%, you're not going to push your kid to go and become an entrepreneur because you didn't do it yourself.
Okay.
So your point of reference is go and get a job. If you're in the 95%, it's a natural thing. You teach your kids how to be in business. So I think that we should start looking at the job situation. There's not enough jobs. We need to create jobs in South Africa. So if you steer your kid into starting a business, that kid will be the employer of other people in the future. And South Africa we need employment. We need, you know, companies to be employing people. So we should be teaching people how to be entrepreneurs so they can employ people, rather than just teaching people how to go and get a job, because there are no jobs. So you can't create jobs out of no new businesses.
Right.
And that's essential. We've got to teach kids how to become business people, and they will become the future employers in the country.
So please, can you share some of your details with our listeners for people who are interested in this concept?
Look, Gap Entrepreneur, we're launching, we launched in this year, and we've got business hubs across the country. My best advice is go to our website, gapentrepreneur.com, or go to juniorceo.com. Find a business hub near you. We have one here in KZN. We're fired up about them. They're absolutely cruising. And then get an interview, because we don't just let anybody in. We want ambitious people. We want kids that are fired up about, you know, being entrepreneurs and business people. And we've got a pre-selection process we put them through. And here's the kicker, is our program doesn't cost the student a cent.
Wow.
It doesn't cost them a nickel. So
Yes.
there's nothing like this in the world. In fact, we've been asked to go to Australia and America and go and launch it there. So I'm flying overseas next month to go and launch in Australia and then in America in November. So look, South Africa's taking off like a rocket. So get on the website gapentrepreneur.com.
Well, certainly it's something that South Africa needs in order to combat the rising unemployment and poverty rate that we're currently experiencing.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us.
It's been great chatting to you. Yeah, and I hope that the listeners have got something out of this.
Just give it.